Well, hello, my loves. It's me, Jazzy Mac, and I have several work from home opportunities. And some of these opportunities, including the GoFundMe opportunity, is going to be completely work from home, no phones, equipment provided, and it's going to pay a very, very high starting salary, and training is going to be provided. So, we all are familiar with GoFundMe, and I think this is probably one of the most well-known places where people collect funds for like charity, but also for like education and emergencies and things of that nature. So we're definitely going to break down the GoFundMe job, and I want to make sure I break down the resume for you all because I want to make sure that you're hitting those hot words, those keywords, because I really need you all to understand what these recruiters are looking for. But first, we're going to come back to this job. I want to give you a quick reminder that Amazon is still hiring virtual all over the US for the customer support specialist job. I've done videos on this job before, and this is going to be on the Shop Bop team, which is where they sell like the high luxury in bags and accessories and, like really expensive stuff. So they did have a chat support and phone support option. And it's going to pay $19 an hour minimum. That is just the minimum. You can make more than that because if you scroll down here at the bottom, they can actually pay up to $53,000 per year, which is like $26 per hour. So please make sure you go and check out this job. Resume templates are down below in the description box. If you have the resume subscription, then obviously this is already in your resume library. I've already done the resume for you. So that's available. We talked about LVES for those of you that are looking for part-time careers. They definitely had a part-time position available, and it was very entry-level, sort of beginner-friendly. So that position is going to be this one, the Client Experience Associate role. So this is just a quick reminder for those of you that want to apply for this role. It's going to pay $20 per hour. Yes, they provide equipment. Yes, they provide training. I've done the resumes for this as well. So they also allow you to have a Wi-Fi connection. You do not have to have a hardwired connection. So this is a job that you all need to make sure you also look for if you're into part-time, if that's what you need at this moment. They do have very flexible hours. So I know a lot of people are like, hey, do they have anything that's like later in the afternoons or later in the evenings after I pick up my kids? Yes, you can totally structure your schedule around that. So as I said, we're going to break down this GoFundMe opportunity. But the first thing I got to do, y'all know I have to give shout outs, okay? Because people are getting jobs left and right, and you need to be my next success story. So Keisha, she said, I got a job offer from CVS Aetna Health and I start February 7th. OMG, Keisha, we're so excited for you. We cannot wait. We hope that you have an amazing first day and first week of work. Congratulations to you. We're proud of you. And then Afro Curly Samurai said, hey, everyone, I applied for the Starbucks service desk analyst position. I got the job about 3 weeks ago. It's fully remote. And she went on to say that the job actually paid her $32 per hour. So this was a work from home job at Starbucks. Congratulations to you. We're so inspired. And of course, Jazz commented about a month ago and said that she was hired for Amazon. She started on February 13th for that position that I just showed you all. That is the same exact position that I just showed you. They are still hiring. So make sure that you apply. Tashonda said, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I got hired at Progressive. Jazzy, you're the bomb. Love you. We're so proud of you, Tashonda. Thank you so much. And Meenakshi said, Jazzy, I am glad to announce that I got selected by Comcast and I am starting in April. Congratulations to you. Mimi said, thank you for teaching us how to edit our resumes to better match description. I just got offered a job. Congratulations to you, Mimi. And Java said, I got the job with Cigna Healthcare. Thank you. Y'all have made my entire day, okay? This just really, really makes me so happy to see you taking the resume templates, you use them, you apply them, you tweak your resume, you submit, you now have this renewed, just this amazing level of confidence. You're applying for jobs that you didn't even think you could be qualified for, and you're actually getting them, and you're getting like the money that you expected and more. So I'm so freaking excited for all of you. So like we said, we're going to come back to GoFundMe. There is one more job that I wanted to show you. I have another bonus job. This bonus job is going to be, it's a full-time role, and it pays about $25 per hour. And this is going to also be a customer support associate role. So if you've never heard of Fanatics, they're kind of like a gaming company. Like if you've ever done like sports bets, you can do it through Fanatics. So like people that like to do like fantasy football, or maybe they like to bet on like horses and stuff, they do it through this platform. So basically you would be a customer support associate, and you're basically going to do what they call liaising between the Fanatics collectibles and consumers by supporting their inquiries and issues. This could be things like, hey, can you reset my account? Or, I'm having an issue adding money to my account. Those would be some of the things that you might work with. And it does say that you might work with customers through telephone, email, or other direct channels. Those other direct channels could be things like Facebook, or it could be things like Twitter, because they do have a Facebook and Twitter. So you would just need to talk to the recruiter to say, what your preference would be. Do you want to do like the social media channels, or would you prefer to do more like email? Or do you want to talk to people? Some people actually really love talking on the phone. So yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. They do provide training to you. They also provide you the equipment. All they really want you to have is like proficiency with Microsoft Word and Excel, which most of you already have that, and the ability to work through email interactions. And if you want the flexibility of working evenings and weekends. So it says the salary range is $20 to $25 per hour. That's only for base pay. That doesn't even include your short-term or long-term incentive, which I'm thinking this is probably like they may give you a sign-on bonus for short-term, and then long-term could be like the annual performance bonuses. Some companies do like stock. So there's like a whole, just a bunch of different ways that you can get compensation. So this is just a really great position for anyone that, obviously wants to work from home, and you obviously like don't want to do anything that's like high stress. This is also California friendly. It is totally US friendly, but I wanted to point out this is California friendly as well as New York friendly. So this is the job. Let's go ahead and look at the resume for this one, and then we can go ahead and hop into the GoFundMe, because that job pays a lot. Trust me. So for Fanatics, again, this is a customer service associate role. So you want to make sure that you're pointing out any type of experience that you have, obviously customer experience. If you've worked in like resolutions, KPIs are going to be very big. Anybody that's worked in a call center, you know what KPIs are. Voice of the customer. These are just things that are coming from part of the job description that I've called out in the knowledge and skills areas, because these are going to be the things that the recruiters are going to put into the system when they start to search for resumes. Okay. When they get resumes, they pretty much cannot look at every single resume. So they get the computer to do some of the work for them. So they'll type in a bunch of keywords, and the resumes that have those keywords are the resumes that the recruiters will actually pull and start contacting people. So this is why it's super duper important to make sure you've got keywords in your resume that are going to match with the job description to increase your chances of landing the interview. And obviously another reason is if you've got like these specific keywords, it shows that you have the experience, and then you can also negotiate for more money. So here's a resume template for you all. It's already in your library for those of you that that have the subscription already. This is in your library, ready to go. So now we've saved, we've saved the best for last, and we can go ahead and look at the GoFundMe job. Listen, this job is going to be, again, no phones. It's super laid back, and it's a job that you're probably going to really love. Sorry, guys, I do have a cold. So this position is going to be a trust and safety specialist position. Jazzy, what the heck is that? Okay, so we've all seen people have GoFundMe accounts, or where they post a link on Facebook and they'll say, hey, donate to this cause. Well, part of what the trust and safety team is going to do is make sure that these are, number one, legitimate causes that people are trying to start GoFundMes for. We want to make sure that a person didn't start a GoFundMe to, go and purchase like guns or drugs or, something illegal. GoFundMe should be related to, nonprofits, education, or, tragic events that may happen, those sorts of things. So the trust and safety specialist is making sure that nobody is like pretty much abusing the platform. And they do what's called vetting. So when someone requests to start a GoFundMe, it does have maybe a 24-hour wait period where it goes under review, and you're going to be a part of that team that reviews the application to make sure that it's legit, to make sure that it's not some scammer that's just trying to collect money illegitimately. So for this position, they've got first and second shift. They did point out that they'd like someone to do second shift, which is like 2 to 11. But your training is going to be first shift. So what I would do, depending on what schedule you want to work, I ask the recruiter if you can do a first shift schedule, or if you want to do the second shift schedule. That's obviously what they're covering here. It says that you're going to provide high quality email and occasional phone support to customers to ensure the fundraiser authenticity and safe delivery of funds for beneficiaries. Because we don't want to raise $100,000 for someone's funeral and those funds don't actually go to that family. The funds went to some, scammer or something like that. So they're making sure that the funds are going to the people that it's supposed to go to. So it says 2 to 3 hours of your day is going to be spent kind of going over the policy and the fundraiser content. You're going to maybe do 1 to 2 hours a day of project work. And then you're going to maybe do some cross work with the compliance team or the payments team or the legal team, because you might have questions. You might say, hey, I don't know if this is a legitimate sort of scenario that they're trying to raise money for. So you may speak to someone in compliance or someone in legal and say, does this sound like a legitimate organization? Is this right? Can we approve their application before we give out the funds? So that's basically what the job is. It is vetting people. It is, raising a red flag for those applications or for the applicants that don't seem legit, people that seem a little fishy. And obviously, if there were to be a fake GoFundMe account, you would also be responsible for removing those accounts off of the platform. We do see lots of say a celebrity passes away, people will start a GoFundMe, it'll be a fake account, things of that nature, and that those accounts get removed before any money can get sent to the person that started it. So this is also a role where they will train you, but y'all look at the benefits. They give you 100% healthcare, you get a 401k, you will get monetary support for your new hire setup, meaning for your office setup. If you need to buy a desk or if you need to buy other office related material, they'll give you money for that. There's money for family planning, commuting, but this is for those that work in an office. This is a remote position. Generous paid parental leave. I have a bunch of people saying, Jazzy, I'm pregnant. I am scared to apply for a job. Honey, apply, okay? There are jobs that embrace people that are pregnant, okay? We're not in the late 1950s and 60s where a pregnant woman was just cast away. That's no longer a thing. So they also have a family planning stipend for people that, want to expand their families, generous vacation, learning and development, give back programs. This is just an awesome, awesome place to work. The pay, it's what's even more awesome because you make up to $85,000 a year, which is like, I don't know, $43 an hour, something like that, plus equity, which means they give you stock in the company. This is just how you build wealth. You get your base salary, you get the stock and your benefits, and it's remote. Like, this job does not get any better. So you may be saying, Jazzy, what kind of experience do I need for this? Like, what are they looking for? Well, I'm so glad you asked me that because I'm going to tell you. So a lot of you have this experience already and you don't even know it. And I'm going to show you why you have it. So, and again, this resume template is in the description box if you need it. This job on the trust and safety team is going to be heavily in content moderation. Y'all do content moderation all day long because you sit on Facebook, you sit on Instagram, you're on Twitter. You are looking at content all day long. If you've ever reported a spam comment on Facebook, if you've ever reported like violence on Facebook, that's considered content moderation. So you're already familiar with that, right? And then when we talk about trust and safety, again, that's going to be related to making sure that there are not like impersonators that are falsely receiving this money or falsely starting these accounts. So this is going to be if you've ever worked in like identity verification. Maybe you worked at T-Mobile and you worked in the claims department. You had to identify you had to verify their identity before you could issue them a new phone or before you could issue them, any type of reimbursements. So that's going to all be a part of trust and safety. In terms of service, you all have experience in that because we all have to abide by policies. No matter where we work, no matter, what we do in our daily jobs, terms of service is always something we have to be conscious of when we're talking to customers or when we're deciding what to do for any type of like case resolution, right? So again, if you've ever worked as like a bank teller, you've worked in loss prevention, perhaps you have worked in personnel records, any type of security jobs. Even if you've worked as like a preschool teacher, you had a responsibility of making sure that the people that came to pick up kids were who they said they were. If they weren't on that list, then you denied them from taking that kid out of your daycare, right? So again, like I said, you all have this trust and safety experience. You have a lot more of it than you probably even realize. So make sure that you really, really highlight those things in your resume, whether you work at a bank, you've worked in insurance claims or customer resolutions, even if you worked in collections, all of that is relevant experience, okay? So that is going to be it, good people. I am so proud of everyone for just all of the jobs that you've been getting. Again, I always have to say, don't be discouraged if you're not getting certain jobs, okay? I say rejection is protection. If you didn't get a job, that meant that it was not an energetic or universal alignment for you. It didn't work for you. It wouldn't have worked for you. And you should be praising the Most High because you didn't end up in a bad situation, okay? We think of these jobs when we don't get them. I look at that as like, that's that ex that I used to be crazy about, but really he was crazy. And if I would have really, really stayed with him and he would stay with me, then I would have been just in a total mess of a situation. So I'm glad that ex left me because that's the biggest favor he could have done. This is how I look at jobs, that if I don't get the job, if I get rejected, I'm like, okay, thank goodness. That was a sign I wasn't supposed to be there. Okay. So continue to raise your vibration, continue to clap for others, continue to tell the universe what you want, practice gratitude, tell somebody you love them, help out an old lady when you see one. And until the next time, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.